Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Curtis Kaboom. Now, for today's review, I'm going to the theater to watch a movie that I am hesitantly excited for. Of course, I'm referring to Return to Silent Hill, which has the tall task of adapting one of the greatest horror games of all time, Silent Hill 2. But they brought back the director Christoph Gans for this, who directed the first movie, which is honestly one of the best video game adaptations of all time, let alone probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. But then, of course, you have the second movie, which tried to adapt Silent Hill 3. That one turned out to be a steaming pile of garbage, but it's still kind of a guilty pleasure for me. So I have been excited for this ever since they announced it back in October of 2022 with their first ever Silent Hill transmission. I haven't watched a single trailer or behind the scenes or anything. I don't know anything about it, and I'm going completely blind. Which I love that, and I'm so happy, but I'm also very scared because it's not gonna be good, is it? I hope. It's a bad sign because my theater only has one showing on opening day. It almost feels like they put it out here just to die. They want it to go on a streaming service. Anyway, let's see how it goes. I hope it's good. Oh, I hope it's good. Okay. Here is my review of Return to Silent Hill. Return to Silent Hill is a 2026 horror movie and the third movie in the Silent Hill franchise, but it's adapting the second video game. I'm happy to say that Christoph Gans is back again in the director's chair. I think he did a good job keeping the atmosphere of the first game in the first movie pretty well. So, going into this, I expected him to make some changes to the plot, also like he did in the first movie. This is probably as far as I can make it without giving a spoiler warning. If you've never played Silent Hill 2, I would probably suggest you actually just stop this video and go play it before I give away the whole plot of that. It's that damn good, which is why it's so baffling to me. My biggest complaint in this is not that they tried to sum up the 8-hour long video game into an hour and a half. It's more that they took that hour and a half and they tried to add more to it. I'll say this though, every time they changed something or added something, I understood why they did it. I was able to justify just about all of them as the movie was going on. The movie starts with changes immediately, with James flying down the highway in a Mustang, smoking a joint. I honestly couldn't contain myself and blurted out, "What the fuck?" in the theater. But luckily there was only like 7 other people in there, so I don't think they even noticed. Or they were all thinking the exact same thing. But this leads into the way that he meets Mary for the first time. And I immediately justified that strange opening as, okay, they wanted to establish James and Mary's relationship before they get into the good stuff. But then it goes on for like 15 minutes of the movie before you even get back to the beginning of the game. Return to Silent Hill is just filled with these flashbacks of James and Mary's relationship. And they added this strange plot to try and connect this movie with the original movie of Mary being part of the Silent Hill cult. Now, I don't blame them trying to still connect this with the original movie, but it really does just seem unnecessary. It's like they expected to just get a bunch of fans from the original Silent Hill movie to come see this game instead of people who have played the Silent Hill 2 video game, and then they were trying to make both groups happy. If they were trying to appeal to so many fans, why would they set this movie out to die in the middle of January, and they've completely given up on promoting it? My theater only had one showing on opening day, and only 8 people were in the theater. I'm sorry, I'm getting off the subject. This just brings me to my point of the fact that they should have just stuck with only making movie fans happy or making the video game fans happy. And I would say they should make the video game fans happy, because if you make them happy, they're going to buy more merch and they're going to support it much more. Anyway, let's talk about some of the reasons why this would maybe make some video game fans happy. The set designs and the practical effects of the monsters, once again, are just holding this movie at the highest pillar. I absolutely love just looking around and seeing these things in motion. But the CGI is pretty bad once again. It's night and day where you can tell where the CGI starts and the practical ends. But that's more of a modern movie problem than just a Silent Hill problem. And it finally makes sense for these monsters to be in this version of Silent Hill, because these are the monsters from Silent Hill 2. I guess in the long run, it was actually kind of a smart idea to use these creatures in the original movie, because now people are adapted to them already. And this might be a hot take, but I think that Jeremy Irvine, the actor who played James Sunderland in this movie, did a pretty damn good job for what he was given. Towards the end, you really feel like he's starting to lose his mind and that he is dangerous and unhinged. And probably the second most important character in the game, Maria, is played by Hannah Emily Anderson, and I don't think she does great as Maria. But with all these flashbacks of Mary, I think she does a great job as Mary. In this movie, she is a conflicted woman who is trying to hide her past from her new boyfriend, James. But you might have just heard me say the word boyfriend. In this movie, they made one of the most baffling decisions I've ever seen. They made James and Mary not married, and they're just dating. Which brings me back to the flashbacks and why they are so important to this movie. You see, in Silent Hill 2, you immediately felt James's connection to his wife Mary because they were married. But in this movie, because they're just boyfriend and girlfriend, you have to establish more of a connection between them by using flashbacks. It feels like they made them boyfriend and girlfriend just to justify having all of these flashbacks in it. But they could have just not had the flashbacks in the movie, so you could have had more established game moments. Which is something that's surprising to me. They have some game things in this. Of course, the monsters are in it, the characters are all in it. But for a movie that a lot of people are going to say is reference heavy, I didn't see many references other than a couple camera shots or a couple tiny scenes or the characters and monsters from the game. Looking around the town, I didn't see a lot of those fun landmarks that you see around Silent Hill. And there were some very key moments that were surprisingly cut that I was looking forward to seeing in live action. How do you cut the scene of Maria sitting behind bars after being killed by Pyramid Head? I swear, I like things about this movie, but the more I'm ranting about it, the more I'm realizing how much better it should have been. I think that the main thing is that it just jumps around and moves so fast. If they didn't add all these weird flashbacks, I feel like they could have definitely taken a little bit more time to breathe. One of the amazing things about Silent Hill 2, the game, is how subtle some of the horror is. But this movie feels more like they tried to make it into an amusement park funhouse ride. For example, the first time you see Pyramid Head in the game, he's standing behind bars with this red light on him, and he's not moving, he's not doing anything, and you just are like, what the hell is that thing? In this movie, the first time you see Pyramid Head, he attacks James, and he starts banging his head against the bars, trying to break through the bars, and then James runs into a giant spider Mary that was made up for this movie, and then Pyramid Head kills that thing. That was just so much to take in a short amount of time that you almost don't even get to process the threat of Pyramid Head. Return to Silent Hill still tries to make sure that it hits most of the story beats from Silent Hill 2. But it feels like somebody told you to redraw a Picasso painting from memory, but then you decided to draw a little doodle of Godzilla in the corner because you knew that it wouldn't come out exactly right. And when someone sees it, they instantly know, okay, I see that you were trying to go for Picasso, but why did you add Godzilla in the corner? This movie isn't great, but it's not as bad as people are putting it out to be either. I still think that it's better than Silent Hill Revelations, and honestly, I still think it's better than Silent Hill F. I could probably analyze and rant about this movie for a long time, and that's not really a bad thing. It just means that I'm passionate about the source material. So, if you still want to go see this movie in theaters, I suggest you do while you have a chance. If not, it'll probably be on streaming pretty shortly. Overall, I give it a maybe. Maybe for somebody that is a big fan of the games, they might be able to look past it and like it. Maybe if you like horror movies, this is going to be okay for you. But it's just up in the air for your own decision. I can't recommend it, and I can't not recommend it.